So, I feel like a lot of these things we can't say, mostly because we feel a certain way. We feel a certain way for how anybody else would react, to whatever we tell them or we're talking to them about. So in this verse, it says, "And I spake unto Sam, making known unto him the things which the Lord had manifested unto me by his Holy Spirit. And it came to pass that he believed in my words." So just that verse alone, it just tells you about, how a lot of people say they have dreams and this and that. Like in that one verse in Genesis, it talks about how this man, he had a dream and he expressed his dream to his brothers, but obviously his brothers did believe him because they wound up throwing him into the cellar and selling him off and this, that, and the third, because if they didn't believe him, he wouldn't take no action, but since they did believe him, he took action. But as I was talking to her earlier about, paintings, I feel like a lot of people are blessed in this way and their gifts are paintings. And the fact that, I feel like the how you can tell what your gift is or decipher between the two is that, if my gift was painting, then I would be getting a vision or a dream. What is a vision or a dream? That's put into your spirit. And I feel like a vision or a dream is nothing but the manifestation of what's to come. And the Lord is speaking to you and giving you this message to deliver. So yeah, I feel like that's what it is. I feel like the Spirit speaks through you, to you. That's what a dream is. The Spirit can speak through you and tell you, oh yeah, this is how you feel. Just like I recently talked about how your consciousness can kind of make you can kind of build you up to where the universe is reciprocating. The universe is talking to you, and sometimes the heart doesn't reciprocate with the mind, but the fact that this is the heart reciprocating with the mind, and the Lord is planting this into your soul and manifesting, what's to come through you. Any message that you receive or any vision you receive through your dreams, because a lot of people don't have the gift of dreaming. I've talked to this one person before, and she was like, yeah, I've never dreamt a dream before. And they be so intrigued when I'm telling them my dreams because they never had that dream before. They never even dreamed before. Or if they did dream it, they don't remember it. Obviously, I feel like if you can't remember your dream, there's just too much cloud in your judgment. There's too much in your spirit to where you haven't cleansed your mind enough. You haven't worked with your spirit. You haven't had that self-reflection. You haven't given yourself enough time to kind of just focus on you and what you can do. Just like earlier today, I was sewing with this lady, and she was teaching me how to sew, and I was telling her how I was feeling her. I was telling her, what happened to me in the past and this and that. And she was like, believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is the first step. It's the first step. And I feel like that's how I was, once upon a time I did believe in myself. I can't say that. Once upon a time I did believe in myself. But then this is where I feel like you have to have discernment, and I came a long way from that. I can believe in myself, but at the same time, I have to believe myself with God. And there's this one verse that I touched on earlier, and it talked about how to believe in yourself is to believe in God, and to believe in yourself and only yourself is nothing. To be loyal to yourself and only yourself, that's nothing. It accumulates nothing. But to believe in yourself with God is something, you know. So it's just like I try to humble myself and ground myself into knowing this. Whenever I feel elated, or you know, someone is pumping me up to the point where, oh yeah, you know, this is amazing, blah blah blah, and they get you all the way up here, but then, you know, that's where God comes in and kind of just humbles you down, or, you know, cuts you down a little bit, you know, but you gotta trust God through the process. That's all it is. So yeah, a lot of people, it's hard to talk about dreams in that type of way, or to say, oh yeah, I feel like my dreams is prophetic, or I feel like my dreams is manifesting, you know, God is manifesting through me, through my dreams, and I feel like a lot of people are afraid to admit this, so they don't. They just be like, yeah, you're very gifted, you know, oh, you're very talented. Oh, that's the dream you had? Wow, that's amazing. Maybe. Just like this one time I told this girl about my dream. I told these girls about my dream, and then she was like, well, oh yeah, maybe, you know, we were the girls in that dream, you know. Because I had a dream actually about the girl's son, and her son's name was, what the freak was his name? I can't remember it, but it was a song. It was the name of an artist. So I was like, I thought my dream was talking about this artist, this singer. But then it come to find out the name in my dream, because he was like, oh yeah, that is such a beautiful name. Like that name is so Mario. So I was like, I thought Mario was a singer. You know, I thought I thought my dream was about the singer Mario, but it turns out that the kid's name was Mario. And yeah, I was just like, wow, like that just stuck me right there. I'm like, wow. Like I really just had a dream about the name of your son. And then she's like, well, maybe, you know, we were the girls in your dream, saying like, oh yeah, it's a cute, you know, your son is your son is cute and this and that. And I'm just like, people like that kind of just make you turn your dream into some type of, you know, joke, or some type of, you know, something that's a sense of humor, you know, just to brush past the fact that, oh yeah, that dream is weird, oh yeah, that's strange. You know, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear, oh, your dream, wow, you know, they don't want to. They kind of get this anxiety or this kind of fear, like, oh snap, you know, you had a dream about my son. What was it about? Like, oh my gosh, like they don't want to reach that part. They don't want to feel like overwhelmed by it. So in order for her to feel kind of comfort toward the situation, that's why that girl threw that out there, like, oh yeah, maybe we're the, you know, we were the girls in that dream, and trying to make it seem, you know, less than what it was. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because, like I said, a lot of people brush things off or brush things to the side just because they don't want to face the truth, or they're afraid of what to come from what happened. And they always want to give your dream. They don't want to ever give your dream the benefit of the doubt, you know, and that's just what it is. So yeah, just a word. Talk to you next time. Bye. What?